enjoying or avoiding the madness of the present times. It really is bonkers out there, and not always in a good way. But remember, unless it directly impacts you in a very negative way, you have to go use the old-fashioned laws of detachment and observe without it being taken into you, and try to always laugh at it first. Laughing has the ability, as shown in many spiritual traditions, laughing has been shown to banish demons. And if this is Buddhists, Christians, everything has shown this, has always known this, that laughter banishes them. And these beasts in the abyss feed on your negative energies. Now, someone sent me a thread. It was on an Irish normie message board, a political message board, and it was about yours truly. And the person who had started it had a Ukraine flag and a pride flag and a picture with their face mask on them. The classic down to a T stereotype of those types. And they'd started the thread in a way to sort of have a go at me, to imply things about me, that I was a troublemaker and stuff like this, and I'm connected to like right-wing groups, in which I'm not even connected to any groups, but that's what they were trying to start shit on me. Interestingly enough, the majority of the people who replied on the thread didn't know who I was. Well, that's good. I was glad to hear that. But the ones that did were saying things like, well, his videos are kind of funny at times, and I have watched them, and I said I don't. It's some of the stuff is really out there, but I really don't. I mean, he's not really political, is he? This kind of thing. He's not involved. And like someone even came forward and says, what right-wing groups? He's not even politically affiliated to anything or anyone. He has never endorsed a political party. What are you talking about? And then someone brought up some other things about what was the word? Oh, the dog is rat thing. And then I got on to tell them, look, I'll answer. Here's the real me here. If anyone has any questions to address me, here I am. And there was quite a few thumbs up, like, we're glad you're here kind of thing. And I clarified about the thing is this. I'm very afraid of religious fanaticism. I'm very afraid of Christian fanaticism. I'm very afraid of all religious fanaticism. It frightens me. It worries me at night. And I'm really bothered by it. And I know, fanatics are not typical of what's in every religion, but religious fundamentalism is definitely a problem in certain religions. And I said I would include Christianity in that. And that's where, but if you have any questions to ask me, you can ask me here rather than talking about me behind my back. And so the moderators shut the thread down. They didn't ban me, but they shut the thread down. They're probably afraid I was looking for someone to sue them or something, which I wouldn't do anyway, unless it was like, vicious lies or something. And so they could see they panicked when I came aboard and said, well, let's talk. And because they probably thought like, oh God, he'll sue us or something, or this kind of thing. And so that was the end of that. So I was just thinking about that. No, one person, but the main point that the person who started the thread put across is, what's his appeal? I don't get it. Why does he have so many subscribers? And they even said something like he has this following around him, and they actually fucking love him. Like, what's the appeal there? Well, I went to bed last night and I was thinking, well, what the fuck is my appeal? It was like one of those things. It was like, one of those things where you're like, when someone says to you, you're a bit of a dick, and you go, no, I'm not, and then you go, oh, fuck me, I am, yeah, like, it's one of those kind of moments. That's what makes us different than normies, is that we have self-reflection and self-awareness. But it got me thinking, like, what is the appeal of me? I know, like, why do people watch my videos every day and enjoy them and tell me they enjoy them and want to see them? And I think it's because it's a few things, right? Now, I am blowing smoke up my own arse here, and you're welcome to say, no, that's not true. So, once, like I said, you can criticize me any way you want, once it's not a personal assault of any kind of like hateful way. Now, I think my appeal is I see the world with a clarity, and I was born with that as a gift. I definitely, as a thing from an early age, I saw the world and people with a clarity that wasn't flattering to the world and society as a whole, from how I was seeing it. And there was events in my life that quantified and brought that into focus, that I was on the right path, not just involving me. I, at one point, I stumbled into a kind of a normie world in my 20s, early 20s. And I didn't deliberately enter into it. It kind of happened that way. But like a bunch of people I know, it all kind of like moved into a kind of a social circle of friends. And they were all couples except me. I was the only one that didn't have, they were all boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance, that kind of thing. I was the only one that wasn't attached to it. I didn't have a woman that. And it was not that I didn't have any problem with women. I had girlfriends and everything before that. But I'm not, I wasn't very, well, at that point in my life, I wasn't very connecty, commitmenty. I was, the first comfort angels, were around, but there was not a, there, things like having those kind of relationships led to things that scared me, like, you know, pregnancy and marriage and all that kind of stuff that terrified the shit out of me. But like, lots of, there've been lots of lovely girls and everything and women, but no, there wasn't for me that point in my life. And so I used to joke about me being like the spare prick and stuff like that, or jokes about me 'cause I think he's gay and this kind of thing. I just laugh. I know it wasn't meant in any kind of nasty way or anything, but it was just funny. But and so anyway, there was a guy came into the group, the circle of friends. Nice enough fella, nothing wrong with him. He was nice. He wasn't an asshole or anything like that. And what happened was one of the couples broke up, and the woman went with this new fella. That put the old fella, whose heart was broken, in an awful position because his entire social network was this group of people. He wasn't like me where I could move in and then move off somewhere else. We went to school with all these people, so that was all he knew. I'll just say his name is Jim, right? And he was heartbroken by it. But because that was a social circle, he still went along to social gatherings and stuff and saw his girlfriend that he's still in love with the new fella. And I could see it was tearing him up. And while all the others were all saying, "Oh, why doesn't Jim get himself a new girl?" I walked up to him and I said, "Jim, leave, go." And he said, "What you mean?" And I said, it's not good for you to be here." Yeah, but these are all my friends. I says, "Jim, leave, go. Run as far away as you can. You're going to go nuts here. Something's going to happen. You're going to turn to drink. You're going to perhaps say something you regret or do something you regret for the rest of your life." I says, "Just leave, just go. You shouldn't be, you going out and meeting people and your friends and socializing shouldn't come with this terrible emotional pain. Just go. Just go. Go away. Do anything. I'll still be a friend, but get away from all this." Well, it took some persuading, but eventually, after a month or two, he went away to England, and he got a job in London. He was a smart guy. He was a quantity surveyor, and he got a job as a quantity surveyor in London. And after, and I told him, "Don't make a big song and dance about it. Just fucking go." So he contacted employment agencies over there, and he got a job off the bat. Funny enough, I think it was working on a Channel Tunnel or something like that, and or one of those kinds of things. And he got a good job there, paying well. And so everyone said to me, "What happened to Jim?" And I said to him, "I told him to leave." And they go, "Why did you do that?" And I says, "Because the rest just weren't any showing him any consideration." And that's not true. Things happen, couples break up, and I says, "Yeah, but the guy's heart was broken, and you were not. You just expected him to like deal with it." And I says, he was still in love with whatever her fucking name was, and I told him to leave. There was no win here for him, only pain and sadness. And then they were all mad at me, and they were all mad at me because I invoked clarity, that there were certain elements of them all being connected that didn't make them happy either. But they're friends, what can you do? That kind of thing. And that was a huge lesson for me. And from then on, from the rest of my life, if anyone hurt me in a way I would never hurt them, I just ghosted them immediately. I just get, "Go, please leave me alone. I need some peace and quiet. Go away." And it's led to some shocking behavior in people, because some people have actually went psychotic when I did that to them. Others were very hurt. I'm not apologizing for it, because you shouldn't have fucked me around in the first place. But, and just been straightforward. And I realized that what keeps normie world together is dishonesty and they don't want to be clear about who they really are and why they're really around who they're with. And it's a symbiotic connection that starts by default and ends by almost like emotional blackmail. And so all my life I've been like that. If I didn't like a job, I'd say, "I'm out of here." You just can't walk out of the job. Are you going to stop me? Relationships, see ya, done. And not just like romantic relationships, friendships. "I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Goodbye." Well, you can't do that. Says who? And what I've noticed is that they've all fallen. All those things all fell apart after I left them, because it was almost my act of doing that was what led to them all realizing they didn't really like each other at the end of the day. Or they did, or they liked one person in there, but not the rest of them. And that was clarity. They brought clarity into that. And that's what I've always tried to see for the rest of my life, is clarity in things. And I don't hold back. I'm not, I'm not brutally honest. I'm just like honest. I don't want to be a friend anymore. I don't want to be in this thing anymore. I don't want to deal with this. And it's given me enormous comfort in my life. And I know that sounds weird to people who are very much people-y focused, but there's a lot to be said for it. Because I can tell you, misery loves company. And there's one thing that brings people together more than anything else is misery. Both friendship circles, relationships, and and society. And look at all the ones bond around all the misery in the world. Misery loves company. And as soon, and there's always a poisonous, miserable individual who brings everyone together around them. And they'll use blackmail and emotional blackmail and coercion a lot to do this. And as soon as I've discovered these people, I've gotten rid of all of them, and anyone connected to them, gone. Because I don't want those kind of people in my life. But conversely, I don't want those kinds of situations on the macrosphere in my world. So if I have any appeal to people, apart from the fact that I know I'm kind of funny, because people are always telling me I'm like funny, and I've got a good sense of humor. So I think I allow people to see the world with a clarity that's denied to them by the narrative, and that's okay. That clarity is okay. And let me tell you why. What happened to my friend Jim when he went to London? Why I told him to do that and why it worked out for him is because when you're in a relationship, like a situation like he was, where the pain of the situation was never going to get better, in the kind of long term even, or mid term or whatever, when I said go, just get away, that break, that detachment, that is not running away. Now, people who say things like, "Oh, that's running away," that just shows how, you know, dependent they are. That they wouldn't have the balls to do it themselves. Oh, that's a coward's thing to do. He just, so I'm actually happened that guy, Jim. Oh, that's a cowardly thing you made him do. Just run away. And I said, what's supposed to do? Is come here every week and have his heart broken by you two? Well, no, no, no. We could have sorted things out. No, he needs a break because his body's full of fucking chemicals and hormones that are going absolutely crazy right now, and he can't. He needs to stop that. So when he went to England, he had the new job. He had to find a place to live. He had to adapt to the social circumstances, the cultural differences, and so on. And all those things allowed his mind to take a break from what was going on with the girlfriend and the fella. It was a chemical hormonal interruption into the things that were causing him pain. And that's why it was so important for him to break clean. And you always, always do that. And that's why I did that. I told him to do that. And that's why he eventually found a nice girl and settled down in England. And I still think he's there with a couple of, like, the kids are growing up now. They're in their teens. It's college age going into. But that's how that worked out for the chap. We probably, God knows what would have happened if he had stayed in Ireland being confronted to that situation. And that's what drives a lot of emigration, by the way. Most emigration is not born out of suffering or hardship. Most emigration is born out of, I need a new fucking start badly. Badly. You know, a small island like Ireland, you have to get off the island. In a big place like the USA, you can run to a state, or some of the states are so huge, you can go to the other side of the state where it's completely different and things like that. But you need to have that break. And these new people around you and these new creative things in your life and challenges, work challenges, yes, life challenges, to just break from that pain, that rumination of the situation behind you. And I think I can do that with people on the macrosphere, like when we had the lockdowns. Instead of having people despondent and in a state of terror, and all the misery that was out there and all the fear that was put into people, also by the alt media, I might add, I was saying, hold on, wait, relax, laugh at these fuckers, don't take it too seriously. It's not going to be as bad as anyone is telling you. Don't let your mind run away with yourself. Don't lose your fucking head. Calm down. It'll be okay. Let's have a laugh about it. Let's try and that was all about to stop you guys and me too, because but that's what I was saying. I don't care if I have 10 subscribers or 10,000 or 100,000. I'll still make these videos because they're good for me too as well. And it was a respite, a break, a disruption, a a kind of a barrier, an interrupting force in the overwhelming saturation of pathological negativity that was washing tsunami like over us in the late spring, early summer of 2020. It was poisonous. We all felt it. But it wasn't. There was no way we were going to make it better. As soon as I realised these fuckers are going to lock us down as long as they can get away with it, because they're drunk on power. And so those of you who are on that group and you want to know what I think my appeal to people is I allow them to see the situation with clarity, that the poisonous pathological narrative steals from them in the moment. And as a result of this clarity, they can concentrate on being creative and getting on with their lives and doing things rather than sitting there in front of the TV. Oh God, we're fucked. Oh God, I'm fucked. This kind of thing. So powerful. Such a beautifully powerful thing. And yet it's so simple. And yet people would never do it. I mean, I don't go to weddings. I'll tell my friends and people for family wrote them, well, I don't go to weddings, so fucking, I'll give you, good luck to you. I hope you have a wonderful time and a great life together. I'll give you a present and everything. I'm not going to that fucking wedding reception. Why not? I hate them. I fucking hate them. Yeah, but you kind of have to go. No, you don't have to kind of have to go. If you don't like something, you don't do it. You don't do it. It doesn't mean you have to be nasty and bitchy and surly about it. It doesn't mean you have to hate the thing or what's happening there. I'm not going. It's not for me. I don't do that kind of thing. Nature didn't build me that way. Sorry. So it is. But you go ahead and do your thing. Good for you. It's wonderful. Best of luck to you. And you cannot believe the greatest I often said in the past, the most spiritual thing on Facebook is the block button. But the most spiritual word in the history of the English language or any language is no. No. Now, you can say no and just be nasty about it. No. But you can say no, and I'll tell you why. And that's what you have to know. But if they've done something nasty to you or broke your heart or hurt you, they know exactly what they did. So you don't have to explain anything to these fuckers. You just walk away, ghost them. And you would not believe the distillation of your consciousness and your refinement of your psychology, and also the help your cognition gets when you break like this. I realized at a very early age that the purpose of society is to keep society going. And that means to destroy you as an individual in order to perpetuate society. And many families are like that. The purpose of many families is to destroy the individual of everybody in that family in order to keep the family going. There's a lot of families like that. And, oh, geez, what can I do with our family? You know, you can do lots of things. You don't have to hate them, but you can detach yourself from them. If it's not working out for you, if it doesn't feel right, if it's not comfortable, you don't have to put up with it. It's just a simple thing. But it's the same with the like, the narrative. It's like the prevailing thing. It's like the whole thing is like, I had the alt back in when the Rona thing started. You had the whole alt media screaming they're going to come with stormtroopers and put us in camps and give us the needlecraft against what was screaming. And then the other side of it was, well, you have to kind of do it because you'll die if you don't. That was the mainstream side of it. And then the middle was me, was like saying, don't listen to either one of them. Ignore both of them. Don't listen to either one of them. Ignore both of them. And follow your heart. And follow the song in your heart. And see how you feel. And you always know, you will know right away if you've made a bad decision because you feel it. And at the same time, too, you know if you made a good decision. And people will tell you when you've made a good decision. You know what they'll say to you? You look a lot younger today. That's usually because you've made good decisions in the days leading up to it. You decoupled from forces that were sucking you dry. And you just said, no, and you walk away. And people say to you, oh, you look really well today, you look relaxed, and you don't have that furrow between your eyebrows. And that's because you've decoupled, like my friend Jim. You've put an interrupter, a barrier in there. And this is not talked about enough. You have like things like interpersonal psychology, but you don't have like extrapersonal psychology. Like, get the fuckers away from you. Get away from that fucking situation. That'd be my extrapersonal psychology. That, just do something, break from it. But misery loves company, and there's also people are addicted to their suffering. And also, like I said, in so many unhappy situations, there's one miserable individual who gets everyone else to be his or her enablers. And they, loads of sad sack sob stories and this kind of thing. And hints dropped out there that he or she will commit suicide if you don't. Oh, I might as well end it all. What will I do? And everyone goes, well, Jesus Christ, I better tiptoe and baby and enable this fucker, in case he kills himself or she kills himself. But these people know exactly what they're doing. It's a plan to keep you a prisoner. And that's what the media do, is like, oh, if you switch off the BBC News, climate change will beat you. Climate change will win. You switch off the evening news, Putin will win. You stop reading the daily newspapers and listen to the radio, you'll die of the Rona. It's the same thing. Misery loves company. And misery can be a tsunami in some situations. And this is why when I block fuckers and people that dick me around, a lot of them become psychotic and go absolutely into these like wild, deranged, hysterical, fucking demented behaviors because they're telling the world right then, a huge amount of happiness has gone out of my life. And I'm not sure if I've done it for a good reason. And that's what that's all about. That's all that's about. Because I know, like, I know that when people are around me, they're happy and relaxed. I know when people switch on my videos, they're happy. It's just the way I am. I'm just a relaxed, easygoing person who likes making people feel comfortable. I actually do enjoy making people feel comfortable, and I mean, it makes me feel good. It's almost like a kind of a spiritual thing for me. And I don't mean in a kind of a self conscious way. Oh, I have to go in here and make everyone relaxed. You know, it's just like I just sort of like have a laugh. How you doing? It's going. Yeah, do you want another drink? Yeah, yeah, I can't. Yeah, cool. No, no worries. I don't. I never push my problems on people. Unless they ask. I never do that, and I never. I'll always try to create a situation for people where they're getting a respite from the world. I'm kind of a natural. I don't know. I'm a natural comedian in a lot of ways, but it's not just. It's more than that. I guess I'm good at and people tell me that all the time. That like when I walk into a room, it just everyone seems to have feel much happier, and you just seem to be like really good at that. And I was told that from the time I was a kid that you just seem to have this thing about you where you make people feel relaxed and enjoy themselves, and at workplaces too. So I mean that's what I think my appeal is, and why these videos. I don't have a political mandate. I don't. I just I despise I despise politics. Absolutely hate it, and I don't have any kind of other agendas in that regard, one way or another. But I don't like to see people in my country or in other countries suffering unnecessarily because of the bullshit that governments and mainstream media foist upon them. And I don't like to see people whose lives are already hard enough. And I'm not being in some sainted way. It's just that I don't like when it's done to me either. So if I can find a way out of this bullshit, then I might as well share it with others. And that's all I'm sharing with others is that, like, I found a way not to be swallowed up by the suffering of the world, the misery and the darkness of the world. And I discovered very early on that misery loves company, and the best way to deal with that is to find new company. Okay, take care of yourselves. Love yous all. Bye bye.